So before I do the main part of the video, I really want to get in and start explaining some of the background information because it's kind of important that you know this before we get into the main video. So first off, the kind of setting for this was I was actually doing a video comparing pre-built computers to what you get with when you build it yourself. And I wanted to see, yes, I understand there's going to be a discrepancy there, but I wanted to see if there were any, pre-built companies that really had a good deal. And so this video kind of progresses from that. In particular, there was one company, Xidex PC, which is actually reviewed by Hardware Therapy, or Unbox Therapy, sorry. And he actually reviewed them and gave them an extremely good rating, which obviously is kind of apparent when you get free stuff from a company. So I really wanted to make this video because my experience clearly shows that they had really concerned me with the lack of hardware knowledge and getting wasteful parts, like buying something that wasn't needed in order to, I don't even know, they were just buying or recommending things that weren't necessarily needed. And when I recommended, I asked about what would be a benefit of building, myself. Like I said something like, wrote kind of a statement like, hey, I was wondering, what is the difference between building it myself? Is there any option? I was very, trustworthy. I just asked the question, would it be a recommended idea, or would it be a good idea to do it, or should I buy it myself? They didn't even want anything to do with me. They just ended the conversation there and didn't want anything to do with me, which is kind of evident if you were scamming somebody. Because if you were really scamming somebody, you would not, if you kind of got led on to the fact that, you're kind of scamming somebody and someone kind of confronts you about it. Well, I mean, that's not necessarily what I did, but, you think of it the fact that I was asking if it was a pre-built better, and they just want nothing to do with anybody that wanted to pre-built, because I personally think they kind of realize that, they are pretty expensively charging for $250 out of a $1,000 computer is how much just extra leftover money they were charging. I took the part list that they gave me and the part list that I was able to find online. Yes, with similar parts, actually, some of them much better. And they still were like $750 for 1,000 PC they were charging. And honestly, I personally think that you should not be charging $250 for building a PC. That's just my 2 cents. But this is the background information, and I hope you will enjoy today's video. This is kind of really concerning, and I'm going to try narrating this to tell you guys what to look out for and what's not to look out for. And this is also taken from the last video that I did that I kind of promised that I wanted to make another video off of, because it's kind of alarming. So thank you for watching, and here it is.
So right here you're looking at basically a PC that's online on this site. Now what's really shocking about this is kind of the price difference. I'm this is, as I said, pulled from the video previously, and as you can see there is a kind of a pretty big price difference. Now you can see it's like $1,000, and that's some okay mediocre hardware. But what I'm going to do next is I'm going to actually pull up the kind of PC part picker list for what they're going to give me. So here's what's going to happen. So basically I'm going to start talking with this dude, and I was talking with this dude for a bit, and basically he started talking, he asked me what I wanted to play and stuff, and so I was like, PUBG. And what really threw me through the loop was the fact that the part list he gave me, which of course is through the site, besides being overpriced and such, the CPU was useless. And I don't mean that in like a sad way. I mean like the CPU basically was APU and with a dedicated graphics already in the system, and really made me question the credibility of this site altogether. So it made me a little concerned. Now obviously I appreciate the fact that I was talking with a real person, but I do not think the real person was that certified or that well knowledgeable. So that was my first thing. So here I am, I'm going through the PC part list now. And as you can see, there's a big difference. So yeah, here's the part list right here. And I basically just went through and kind of built the whole system and just based off what they gave me. And the final part was, it was just in the end, I asked, would it be better to build a PC or nothing? And the moment I mentioned build a PC myself, I literally got completely ended, and they wanted nothing to do with me once I even was aware of the idea that you could build a PC and actually not get scammed. So my point being in this is that it just was a little bit, I don't know, shocking in this situation. So as you can see here, I basically just asked the question, was it better to build, a PC myself? And, I got kicked out, as you saw in the beginning of this clip. And to be honest with you, that's really, if you're doing a pre-built computer company, you kind of want to be open with what you're doing. And the moment you kind of sit down and you kind, when someone mentions that idea, they probably already know that they're paying extra for someone else to build the computer because they don't want to do it themselves, or they don't know how to, which is understandable and completely fine. But where the problem gets up here is that when you mention something and you completely don't want anything to do with them, it really shows that you're kind of scamming somebody, or at least seems fishy. And I understand this can be just one person out of the blue that has no idea what they're doing, but I mean, still, you should, if someone brings that up, you should explain, what like that company offers more. Like this whole like situation here has kind of inspired me. Like, I'd love to build a PC building company or whatever, and I probably would. I do it non-profit or whatever. I love doing that stuff, and this kind of ruins the point, I guess, when people can sit down and, I guess, kind of tell people that don't want anything to do with them, even if they wanted to know what's the difference, how is it better. So that's kind of the point in this situation. I just found my computer. What a surprise! It's $1,500 more than I paid for mine. Wow. Let's see specs here. Oh boy, this is the same case I have. Everybody keep in mind, if you look at any of my videos, Thermaltake U71. And then actually I have the specialized custom fans, and it's just annoying me, making me think like I highlighted it or whatever. Okay, so I found my own computer. Okay, so that's not, that outside of the blue to find something like that on your own system. But it's really getting concerning in the fact that they're charging about $1,200, $300, over, what the value is. Let alone, it's most of the parts, some of the things they've included are really useless. Like, they've included some multiple M.2 drives, things like that. And it really does concern me. They're putting in extras here that I don't personally think are worth it, or anywhere. I wouldn't even recommend to anybody. And so the only reason I can think that they would actually do that is simply because they're kind of getting some type of deal on this, where they're actually saving a lot of money and they're actually able to put the price up really high. And so they're actually able to make a good bit of money off of that. And so my point being this, in finding my own system in this situation, I mean, it's not the exact kind of system, but the CPU, my CPU is pretty much identical in price. And so I've kind of, balanced the price, and still it doesn't seem, right, accurate. And the other thing is, I don't necessarily think all these parts are going to be the high quality Founders, at least the Founders Edition, or multi-fan edition. These are going to be the low quality blower style cards, I'm pretty sure, at least for the graphics card, and they're still charging an absorbent amount of money for this. I don't think they've even updated the prices since the GPU kind of skyrocketing price. So that's my point in being, is that I don't think, looking at the A, prices being extremely high, B, charging, I don't know, 25% or more of, the overall cost, and then going through and not necessarily being knowledgeable. This at least makes me lose faith in the fact that PC building companies are I guess when you set out to build a PC or start a PC building company, you should at least kind of enjoy it. And I don't think this is what they're doing anymore. I think it's just kind of trying to get as much money as you can. And to be honest with you, if you're building PCs, you're not going to make much money off of that. That's kind of the fact. So I make this video to kind of keep people aware. I mean, this is one company, and I'm not trying to call them out. I do, personally would be a little concerned. This may just be one person, and, if it's one person, I'm not trying to say this company is bad. I do think it's a little pricey though, but I mean, there could be something I'm missing. And, I'm giving people the benefit of the doubt. And I mean, there's other pre-built companies, like CyberPower, I know is one, that does actually a pretty decent job giving you, an accurate, equal price for like what you get. Like, you can actually get something that's, what you could pay for in the real world if you built it yourself. And even with keyboards and peripherals, I mean, it's awesome. And I mean, I don't get sponsored by any of these people, so please keep in mind this is a 100% unbiased kind of me saying this. And there's a problem here. And I mean, at least being someone that's knowledgeable in this market, I can officially say that there's something at least up with this one. And I make this video just to kind of keep people aware that when you go out and you're up for a pre-built computer, keep in mind people are out there to make money and kind of scam you and make you pay more than you really should. So just know what you're looking for, and also know how much it costs, and make sure you're not paying some exorbitant amount, when you could. I mean, I always would recommend building it yourself, but I mean, I understand that's not necessarily possible for everybody, especially when building it yourself is not as difficult as it used to be. It is, like with YouTube nowadays, you can just Google up how to do everything, and I did that's the way I did my first PC ever, and I had no problems whatsoever. So I'm just saying that, that's out in the market. It's a good experience. It teaches people a lot, and I think it's the best. But I understand that some people really want to have someone else do it, which is perfectly fine as well. So I just wanted to made this video to keep people aware, and of course when you're out there and you're looking for something, just keep your eyes open and don't fall into traps, I guess. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, of course, give the video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and I would recommend this video before you go out and you start looking for pre-builts if you're out in that market. Not to say that don't get a pre-built if that's not what you've kind of set your mind to, but I'm just saying kind of keep your eyes open. So thank you for watching. Hope to see you around, and goodbye.